Welcome to the Sovereign Teacher. Today is February, is it the February 3rd or 4th? I think it's the 4th today. And we are in a Virgo moon. So I'm going to do a reading for Virgo today, one of the very long 2026 astrological tarot readings for Virgo. And I don't know, I have a friend who gave me a moon journal to kind of track how you're feeling with the different moons. And I know I woke up today like a little paranoid, just like, oh my God, what about this? What about that? And that actually, when I was looking at the astrology, that's actually something that what happens with Virgo. You end up seeing things that you didn't always see and attending to little details of things that you didn't always see. They may come up to you in this Virgo moon. So just notice that for yourself, whether that happens to you. Because also we may be like more comfortable in certain signs and they may not bother us as much, or they may not disturb us as much. And that's just your relationship with each sign. So it's an interesting thing to explore. So I'm going to start out with the Divine Beloved Tarot deck. And the question that we're asking for Virgo is, how is your soul being invited to live in alignment with the new earth? Particularly for you Virgos, but anybody that wants to get a little more information, because it is a Virgo moon today, and what are the messages that Virgo has for us. So Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs, and anybody who wants to just know a little bit more about what Virgo might want to tell us. Whew. That's so funny. I got this kind of theme today too, because I was feeling fear, and normally I got this message on Facebook about like what happened to you as a child when you felt these feelings. Like if you were neglected as a child in your feelings and you had to attend to them yourself, which was my experience, how do you treat your feelings and where does that show up in your body? And so I was very aware of that this morning because I was reading it and I was really realizing that I was experiencing fear. And so I did, like, I can take care of it myself. But I reached out for a little support from my boyfriend and I just said, I'm feeling a little fearful today. And I told him the things that I was worried about. And he was very reassuring, which was a different experience than I ever had. And it was very reassuring, and it was very supportive and loving and caring. And it healed a part of me that had always been looking for that. And it was very unexpected. I wasn't asking him for it. I was just seeing what happened if you reach out to somebody who cares about you and in your fear. I didn't really know. I knew I could take care of it myself, but I wanted to know what it was like to reach out to somebody in fear and have them support you. And it was a beautiful experience. So if you have the right people around you and you're willing to take that risk, I think that's what's being asked of you. So support, the right help will come. So whatever way that you pray, you can pray with me now. Allow me, Divine Beloved, to let go, relax, and enjoy the process, knowing that it's safe to offer all to your capable hands. The right actions are always shown, and the right help always comes. Amen. And so it is, and so you remember. Okay, so we're starting out our reading with that, and then we're going to move into the archetype cards. And for each astrological house and sign, there's a sign associated with each house. So the first one is Aries, and we're going to ask, where are you being called to begin? So we're going to get an archetype card from the Carolyn Mace archetype deck. Where are you being called to begin? Oh, and we got slave. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Okay, so let's look at that one for a minute, because what do you consider to be the divine and how do you feel about that? If you're in any doubt or fear about that, or you don't really know what that means, you might have a lot of difficulty with this. So some other ways for referring to the divine are, these glasses are too powerful, are God, your higher self, the universe, spirit. So maybe, or even Jesus. So you can think about it in those ways, and that might help you to surrender a little bit better. So the light attribute is surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. And the shadow attribute is giving your willpower to an external authority, like money or a person or a boss or the president, out of fear of making your own choices. Ooh, this is a really good one. It has a lot to do with freeing yourself. So yes, of course it would, because it's the slave card. How can you free yourself? Where are you being called to begin? And where you're being called to begin is how can you free yourself? And what I've been finding is that we give a lot of our power over to these big systems, the internet, Apple, Google, the government, like these big systems. We're giving so much of our power away. How can we take some of our power back and help ourselves feel a little bit freer? So that might not apply to you, but that's what I've been asking myself. And now I'm going to get a card from the Light Seers Tarot for Aries. Where are you being asked to begin? One of the things that I'm being asked is to stop doing things for other people. Not that I don't, but I need to put myself first, because that's a challenge for me. And so even in this video, I have to remind myself that I'm doing this for me because I want to know more about Virgo. And I'm sharing it with you because I like sharing and connecting with you. Okay, so we got the Tower and the Seven of Cups for the slave card for Aries. So the Tower is when the things that you are relying on and thinking that are safe and like these structures that we depend on, when they start to crumble. But we start to realize what is really secure. Like when my marriage was crumbling, and I was asking God or Spirit, like, what is real? God said, your love is real, and it will come back to you in a different form. And it did. So the Tower is scary, but it helps you realize what's real and your true strength and your true power. Okay, so the Seven of Cups. Well, I want to know what the Seven of Cups is telling us here. Fantasies, choices, wishful thinking, the allure of temptation on the path, needing to move forward without knowing the full picture. Option, okay, that's exactly what it is, okay? In this new way of being, in freeing ourselves and in stepping out on this new path, without the structures that we thought were secure, we recognize what's really secure, and we recognize that we only know one step at a time. And a lot of times it's by what's exciting us, what lights us up. And when I was going through my divorce and I was like, I don't even know where to go with this. Like I had like gotten so depressed I didn't know what lights me up anymore. But the one thing that I knew that lit me up was tarot. And so I just followed that, and I created a tarot group for myself, a group of, and so that's actually something too. Community is important to me, connection. And so I created a tarot group with like 3 other people in it. And that was the thing that kept me going in that really difficult time. So maybe there's something like that for you if you're going through this Tower moment. Maybe there's something like that lights you up, that you can just take one step forward and things will unfold. In this new way of being on the new earth, you don't know you don't have the outcome. You don't know where you're going. It's a lot about trust and faith and following your bliss. And that's pretty cool, right? Okay, so we're going to do house number 2, Taurus. Hold on. I'm cleaning out my system with some bone broth. I'm trying to do a cleanse. Okay, so Taurus is the house of value, safety, your body, your self-worth, money, your nervous system. So let's see what we get for Taurus. The question is for Taurus, what wants to be stabilized or embodied? I feel very grounded in Virgo. And the heroine wants to be embodied. A passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So passion for your journey. The shadow attribute is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So something that you need to remember that is that you're also getting this message that you're not doing this for anybody but yourself, but it will help everyone. And that's a really interesting paradox, isn't it? And you got that like a little bit of the flow of the Seven of Cups. You're not trying to escape it from anything or get distracted by anything. This is really what lights you up, and exploring that and taking one step at a time on your journey. And that passion for loving yourself and choosing yourself. Okay. So we're going to get a card from the Light Seers Tarot, in case I didn't show you that deck, but I think I did. Okay, so what wants to be stabilized or embodied? Six of Wands. And Aquarius got this one yesterday too. I don't know if it was in the same place, but it might have been. Okay. I just want to see what that message is. I think it's about being seen, but I want to just make sure I got the whole thing. Badass success, leadership, accomplishments, being seen, becoming an influencer, victory, optimism, inspiring others. Okay, that's cool. Like, this is definitely for me. I don't know if you're feeling it for you too. I am worthy of this success. How cool is that? This is the house of worth, self-worth, money. And I am worthy of this success, and I am grateful that I am seen. And it's with your heroine. So your journey of personal empowerment is also inspiring others. And you're being seen and noticed and acknowledged and valued for that. So likely you've been doing the work of valuing yourself. Okay, let's move into Gemini. That's mind and meaning. And the question for Gemini is, what story is being told? And we got the Messiah. Serving humanity with humility. This very much goes along with Aquarius. The shadow attribute is an exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Okay. So recognizing your place in the story. What is your particular place? What is your gift to offer the world? Let's just sit with that for a minute. And now let's get a card from the Light Seers Tarot. And I'm going to ask you what my gift is. So that's me being a little bit vulnerable with you. But I'm going to say to you, if you watch my channel, because it's a lot of times hard to see our own gifts because we're so used to them. and we don't, for us, they feel familiar and normal. But other people that don't have our gifts really value them. So if you would be willing to put in the comments what my gift to you is, what you feel like my gift is, and my gift to the world, what you get from me, I would really appreciate that. And if you could like and subscribe to my channels, whatever channel you are finding me on, and share, that would be really nice to grow my channel so that I can reach people that really need whatever it is that my gift is. I think it's presence and love and compassion. And I think it's a lot about presence and support and gentleness, maybe. Okay, so we got 2 page cards. So beginning cards, the beginning of things. The Page of Swords we have upside down, and the Page of Pentacles we have right side up. So these are these are cards about beginning something new. So let's get a little more information about those cards and how they're connected to the Messiah. Oh, it's our gift to the world. So we're just beginning to maybe a new endeavor, where it's developing for us, this new gift. Something we've always had, but it's developing and being refined, I believe. So the Page of Pentacles is manifesting new opportunities. Manifesting new opportunities. Beginnings, good news, ambitions, skills and training, financial opportunities, new career paths, new connections, exploration stage, a beginner, earth magic, making plans a reality. So see if any of those fit for you. For me, I think I'm starting something new. And I would like to be developing new connections. I have a lot of really great old connections. And earth magic, bringing our, for me, that's a big thing, bringing my gifts down to the earth realm, because I was up in spirit a lot of the time. I was very comfortable there as a Pisces, but not as comfortable being on this earth. And I have a boyfriend who is a Taurus moon, Libra sun, and Leo rising. So he's very earthy and helps me to feel a little more safe here on earth. Okay, so this one is upside down, and it's arrogance, gossip, nervous energy, being all talk and no action, dishonesty. I can relate to this one in the being a lot about talk, but not really actually wanting to put myself out there and be vulnerable. That's scary because I've failed a few times. So we're gonna write it, and we're gonna say the affirmation. I learn and I expand my consciousness and open up new opportunities for my life. That requires vulnerability and humility. Okay. So let's move into the 4th house of Cancer, belonging and attachment, and what needs to be held. Okay, what needs to be held? And Cancer is associated with the moon, and it's oftentimes unconscious. So some of these are hard to sometimes it's hard to get at this. This could be like shadow aspects. So we have the addict. The light attributes are, it helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. And the shadow attributes compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So addictions can be anything. They can be food, they can be alcohol, they can be drugs, they can be cigarettes, but they could also be addicted to a certain feeling or emotion. I get into these sad. I don't know. It's like an addiction to sadness or something. I really don't like it, but I find that I'm comfortable there, like in being drawn to sadness, like just carrying other people's sadness, but being drawn to it. But I don't like it, and I want to change that because it prevents me from connecting with joy, which is what I want to connect to. So what are some things that you might be addicted to? And it could be an emotion. Okay, so let's get a card from the Light Seers Tarot. What needs to be held? And so, like, in terms of holding that, we hold that part of us that uses that addiction to feel safe. And we let that part know that it's safe with us. And it doesn't need whatever that thing that it thinks it needs to feel safe. I'm gonna have to sit with that one a little bit longer because that one, I keep getting that card and I'm not really sure what it's talking about yet. Maybe like the idea that I need to I don't know, I need validation from somebody else. It might be that. Addicted to the validation of others or receiving validation from others. Okay. And instead, validating ourselves and recognizing our own self-worth. Okay, and we got the Three of Pentacles for that one. For what needs to be held. Three of Pentacles. So we can say, for validating that part, that addict part, of course you feel like you want something to love you and soothe you. You didn't have that growing up. You were neglected. Nobody gave you that. And instead they abandoned you when you most needed them. I am here for you now. I have you. And waiting till you feel your body relax and take that in. Okay. And so the Three of Pentacles is cooperation, community, teaching and learning, sharing and listening, teamwork. There's no limit to what you can manifest together, the Three of Pentacles. I step into the vibration of conscious collaboration. Okay. And you're collaborating with yourself when you hold that part. And you can do that with others too. Maybe the part of you that is longing for that connection and collaboration. You hold that and you validate that. Of course you want that. You didn't experience it. You didn't experience that yet. Okay, so we're going to move into the 5th house, Leo. Where does my soul want to shine? Creativity, leadership, and joy. And I just want to model for you. I'm feeling like I have to like move quickly, but I'm resisting that feeling of that pushing feeling of that. And I'm saying, I'm going to stay with myself. Like when I think about you out there, I think, oh, I need to move quicker. But then I come back into myself and I say, I deserve to take this time for myself. That's what my soul is calling for. And I am going to answer. I will not abandon myself. Okay, so I'm just modeling for you because I think a lot of my viewership is going to be people like myself who were abandoned and learned to abandon themselves. And now we're going to learn to stay with ourselves. And so for the Leo, where does my soul want to shine? Creativity, leadership, joy. It wants to shine as a liberator. And I love that. That fits a lot for me. Freeing yourself and others, which also goes back to the slave card that we started with. Freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. I love that. I want to be a heroine of that. I want to free myself and others from releasing negative thought patterns that keep us enslaved. Shadow attributes, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. Okay, so that's like not getting into like fantasy, and Virgo is helping us with that. Really, this is what you need to look at, okay? You need to look at this. So, and not like what I was saying before, like pushing, rushing for everybody else, but really staying with yourself. You have to do the work for yourself, and in doing that, you set others free. You show them the way. So, you know, oh, that is so funny because I really love Harriet Tubman, and the movie Harriet was so inspiring to me. Her heart and how she kept going back, and she said, I will not rest until I set every one of my brothers and sisters free. And her passion was just so inspiring to me. And I've talked to her like spiritually, and I've said, I want to do that in a different way. I want to do it mentally and emotionally. I want to help people free themselves so that they can actually co-create with spirit, with life, what it is that they want. And we do create the new earth. So I really resonate with this liberator, where my soul wants to shine as a liberator. And maybe you do too. And we got the strength card for that. Your strength, your personal strength and empowerment. Yeah, your courage in taking this road, that the road less traveled, that it's not what everybody does. And in fact, you're probably getting a lot of the same messages that I'm getting. What are you doing? Are you crazy? And I have to keep going back, centering myself, and like, because in the core of myself, I know I'm not crazy, and I know what I'm doing is right. But if I listen to everybody out here, I will think that I'm crazy. So it requires a lot of inner strength. And okay, so we're moving into the 6th house of Virgo, and Virgo is telling us what needs tending or refining. And we got the mother, our own internal. We are our own internal mother. We are now mothering ourselves. And the world mothers us, where the world shows up differently when you step into this new energy. Whereas I used to experience a lot of negativity and criticism, I'm experiencing a lot of love and support now. That's a different world than I was used to growing up in. But it's through mothering ourselves and nurturing ourselves. So light attributes are nurturance, patience, unconditional love, and joy in giving birth to life. You're giving birth to a new life for yourself. I'm doing that. I'm giving birth to the life that I always wanted. Like, I get to decide what makes me happy, and I get to do that. So I like to get my eyelashes done because I love eyelashes. Now I'm going tanning a little bit because it's winter and I like to be tan. And I don't want to do too much of that because I don't want to hurt myself. But it makes me feel good, and I can do that. So what makes you feel good? And how can you do that for yourself? What kind of life do you want to design for yourself? What kind of mother do you want to be for yourself? Shadow attributes are smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. But I want to make that be your inner child, because a lot of us turn this smothering onto our own children, and where we need to show up for ourselves, instead we smother our children. So you want to show up for your inner child and not just put that on, not channel all that into your child, because that's not good for your child either. Your child needs to be mothered, not smothered. And you're going to smother them if you're not taking care of yourself. Okay, so that was what needs to tending and refining. Nurturance, patience, unconditional love of self, and joy in giving birth to the life that you want to create. So let's get a card from the Light Seers Tarot. And we got the Two of Swords. So that to me is trusting yourself. But I want to just see if there's anything else there. That's what needs to be tended or refined, really trusting and listening to yourself. The affirmation is, when blinded by the unknown, I can trust myself to move toward the light. So we are at a crossroads, that's what this card is saying, and making a difficult choice about opposing ideas or options. Are we going to listen to the world, what the world is telling us, or are we going to listen to ourself and what ourself is telling us about what is right for us? Okay, so trusting yourself. Now we're going to move into the 7th house of Libra, which is the house of relationship. Where am I being met by other? Relational truth. Where am I being met by other? And so this is a question of boundaries, and something that I had always asked, and now feel like I do have the answer, but the answer comes from me and not from out there. Where am I being met by other? And my question was, where do I start, or where do I end and you begin? And really we're very connected. But so that's a question about boundaries, and it's where I feel I need to put my boundaries. And it can be different with different people, and it can be different in each moment. But let's find out where we are being met by other. Okay, so this came out upside down, so we might be a little bit in the shadow, but it's the damsel. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. And what Richard Schwartz from Internal Family Systems teaches in his book, You're the One That You've Been Waiting For, I think it's called, or I think it's You're the One You've Been Waiting For. Internal Family Systems is a therapy model. It teaches you that there's really all these different parts of you, and if you can bring your higher self to them, or he calls it the self with a capital S, like compassion, curiosity, all these different C words he has, you learn how to take care of these feelings or mother them for yourself. And in doing that, you're not overloading your partner or your friends or anybody else, but you are asking for care and support, and that's okay. It's this balance between taking care of yourself and your own feelings and needs, and then asking for a little support when you need that. It's this nice balance. The shadow attributes are waiting for a knight to provide for you seduction by romantic illusion. So waiting for somebody else to rescue you. That isn't going to work. We all know that by now, I think. Okay, so we're being met through our own understanding of healthy romance and being able to rely on ourselves. And the tarot is giving us the 9 of Swords, which is upside down, and the 8 of Wands. I think that, I'm not sure if that one was upside down or not. Okay, so Eight of Wands is quick movement. So that to me is telling me you're being met right now. And the Nine of Swords, well, actually what I'm getting like a very intuitive message from that. It's you're being met according to whatever you're thinking or feeling. So if you feel like you're going to be met with criticism, and then you will. And if you feel like you're going to be met with compassion and love, and you're open to that, and you feel like you're worthy of that, you'll be met with that right away. That's just an intuitive reading of that. So I just want to see if there's... The upside down of this is paranoia, deeply anchored fears, inability to think clearly, inner turmoil, negative self-talk affecting self-esteem, an opportunity to actively begin the healing journey. So let's look at it that way. I see my fears as the illusions that they are. So we can create that if we're staying in that energy. But we don't have to. We can see our fears as the illusions that they are, or they may be very rooted in the past, and we can hold that part of us that is afraid and care for that part. And then, like I did this morning with my boyfriend, just ask for a little support. Okay, so house 8, Scorpio. The question for Scorpio is... It's the shadow power. What must be felt, released, and transformed? And it's the healer energy. Okay, like for me, it is this, I know that I'm a healer, but I get sometimes overly excited and try to heal people instead of just being in my healing energy. And that heals people just being in my energy. So it's not trying, it's being. So again, what must be felt, released, and transformed? So we must really heal ourselves in order to heal others, is that message. A passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. But we can't do that if we haven't done it ourselves. We can't do it for others if we haven't done it ourselves. And that is something that I've learned, because I tried, but I hadn't really received the healing myself. I was giving it out before I had fully received it. So the shadow attributes are failing to care for oneself. And that's an important message that I've been getting and is coming out for you too. Okay, so let's get a tarot card for that. Oh, I thought one wanted to come out, but it didn't. Okay. What needs to be felt, released, and transformed? Oh, ooh, the Ace of Cups. Love. Love needs to be felt. And that so fits with what I was feeling this morning, like that, getting that healing love from another. Being able to receive from another person. Not doing all that work yourself. You do the work, but then you open to receive love and support and care. And for those of us who didn't get that, that's scary and vulnerable. But knowing that we can take care of ourselves, and we've learned those skills, helps us to feel a little more safe in opening up and being vulnerable. Okay, so the 10th house, Capricorn. No, the 9th house, sorry. The 9th house, Sagittarius, is meaning and vision. What larger truth is guiding me? And we got the Queen energy. Ooh, we got a lot of... So yesterday we had a lot of masculine energy with the Aquarius reading. We had the King and the Father. Today we're getting a lot of feminine energy. We got the Mother and the Queen. I think that's very interesting. Okay, so the question again was, what larger truth is guiding me? The Queen, light attributes, radiates regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So this feminine energy, this queen energy, this divine feminine energy is guiding you, and I do feel that. And your own internal divine feminine energy radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So being really strong in your feminine power, and the feminine power is connection to others, is receptivity, is emotional health and truth, is standing firm in your power. I'm really loving the powers of the feminine. We've been taught to try to be more masculine to be powerful, but the feminine power is so beautiful. And that's really what we're bringing to the world right now. I love it. The Chariot. Okay. So the larger truth, what larger truth is guiding me? It's in terms of a truth. I'm just wondering where where the Chariot fits, because it's like fast moving energy, but oh, it's you taking charge. You taking charge and you creating meaning. Oh, I love that. Okay. Because I was listening to a tarot card, not a tarot card reading, I was listening to an astrological reading this morning. And it's also the guidance that I've been getting is that we are creating that meaning. What is meaningful for us? And we are bringing that to the world. And for me, it is these feminine values of connection, belonging, love, support, sharing wisdom, and sharing gifts with each other. Like my not everyone's cup of tea party. Like that was so beautiful. It was all of us women healing and supporting and loving each other. Yeah. It's taking charge and creating and bringing that meaning out into the world. So you get to say what's true and meaningful for you. And then you bring that into the world. That's the message there. Okay. So next one is Capricorn. What am I, and I heard another message this morning from that same astrological reading. What am I ready to take? What am I ready to claim responsibility for? So maybe even just asking that, because the question here is, what am I being asked to take responsibility for? Well, let's do what am I being asked to take responsibility for? Because it will also tell us if we're struggling with that. Okay. The Rescuer, the Hermit, and the Poet. I love it. The Poet expresses soul insights in symbolic language. And I've been loving this one lately because I never considered myself a poet, but I love like how spirit expresses through metaphor and like animals and pictures and music. And I love that. So, okay. Expresses soul insights in symbolic language. The Hermit seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life and serves personal creativity. So you're being asked to take responsibility for the part of you that needs to do that. You don't want to just be a hermit, but you do need that time for yourself. The Rescuer provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So when this is out of balance, you're really needing someone else to rescue you. And if you haven't had that and you haven't learned to do that for yourself and seek healthy relationship, then this might be out of balance for you. I recognize that as a therapist, that a lot of times I was helping others so that I could be helped, that someone would show up for me. And that was hard to swallow that I did that. It wasn't all the time, but it was operating under the surface a lot of the time. And definitely in my relationship with my ex-husband, like if I take care of you, then you'll be there for me. And that's not really how it works, and it's not how it works in my relationship now. We both have chosen to do things for each other that we didn't know if we were going to get anything in return. But we're both the type of people that do give back and love. And it's this very reciprocal. It's a different feeling, right? Because it's not even, it is like they say in A Course in Miracles, giving and receiving are one. It's happening all at the same time. It's not I give and then you receive. It's and you give and I receive. We're both giving and receiving at the same time. Because we're open and love is just flowing back and forth between us. Okay, we got the Knight of Swords for that one. So I'm going to guess that it's upside down too. That's like rushing into things. You're trying to rush into things. And you need to take responsibility for that and maybe slow yourself down. But I want to see what it says here. Oh, maybe quick decisions regarding that. Saving the day, wanting to save the day. Unfocused, scattered energy, impatience, acting too quickly, the need for a logical solution, feeling held back by frustrating circumstances, stalling, being hard-edged and emotionally unavailable, unpredictability. I move quickly to help others, and as I do, my dream expands. But I would like to say you move quickly to take care of yourself and share with others. It's that openness that I'm talking about. Where giving and receiving are one. Staying open, keeping your heart open. Okay, so you're caring for yourself, but you're sharing your energy with others. All right, 11, Aquarius, liberation, new earth. What wants to evolve beyond the old system? I'm trying to be mindful of the time because I have an appointment. All right, the Alchemist. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So your learning experiences and your life experience want to be alchemized and transformed into your gift to the world. Sneeze. Okay. Okay, and we got the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles upside down. Ooh, I love it. Because in this card, she has the key, but she's looking depressed, and she has the door locked. But she's looking down and she's depressed and she's not recognizing her own resources. And your own resources are what you've been through to get here today. And the pain that you endured and how you don't want other people to experience that pain. And then the Emperor. Okay. Becoming the Emperor. I lead the circumstances in my world with confidence, harmony, and generosity. That's the divine masculine. So that's what wants to evolve beyond the old system, which was like a narcissist, like weak male energy. But inside of you, you have this strong divine masculine energy and protective energy. You have that inside of you. We all have the masculine and the feminine inside of us. As we integrate all these parts and they come together and we care for these parts, they become, it is that unity of them that is the divine. The divine is everything, all connected. Okay, in the 12th house, Pisces, surrender, spirit. Where do I release and trust the mystery? Where do I need to release and trust the mystery? Oh, and we got the Father energy. So we came around. We got the, in the unconscious. Oh, that's so cool. It's the Moon energy. We got the feminine, and then in the Sun area of the chart, we got the masculine, which is so yin yang in the way it's supposed to be. All right, so the Father, light attributes, or where it naturally flows. Talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. I was getting that too, the guiding light. So we need to surrender and release and trust the mystery. Trust. Oh my God, that's so cool, because the other day I was hearing this, like, I'm in my Father's house now. I'm not in that house that I grew up in. I'm in my Father, God the Father's house now. That's what I heard. And I am being loved and supported and cared for and protected. Whereas that house I grew up in, there was trauma in that house. And my parents couldn't do that. They couldn't give me that because they hadn't given it to themselves. But now I'm in my Father's house. And I'm being loved, supported, and guided. I got the 10 of Pentacles. There is abundance in my Father's house. And the Ace of Pentacles, beginning our journey of growth and beginning that new journey of here on earth. Now that I'm safe enough to be here, I can really be here. The beginning of a new venture or task, new ideas, planting seeds for the future. Great potential for success, manifesting power, ambitions, and prosperity. And the need to create strong foundations to support your dream. I plant my goals with intention, direct focus, and faith. And so it is, and so you remember.